man. Just saying. After 21 seasons, the point guard and mayor of Lob City officially says goodbye to the NBA. Chris Paul earned 12 All-Star nods, 11 All-NBA teams, and 7 selections to the NBA All-Defensive First Team. Paul was the first player in NBA history to put up at least 20,000 points and 10,000 assists. Though he never won an NBA championship, he did win 2 gold medals with Team USA in 2008 and 2012. Chris Paul, as we mentioned, stellar 21-season NBA career, which began with him winning Rookie of the Year in 05-06, selected to the All-Star Game 12 times, winning the game's MVP award in 2013. He led the league in assists 5 times, in steals 6 times, second overall in both categories behind only John Stockton in each, which brings us to senior Anscape writer David Dennis Jr., who joins us now on SportsCenter. So, David, what is Chris Paul's legacy in this league after 21 years?
One of the great point guards of all time. He's got to be top 5 at the very, very least. One of the great winners, and proof that you don't have to have a championship to be one of the great winners. He has lifted the ceiling with every franchise that he was a part of. I think particularly when I think about Chris Paul, think about his time in New Orleans, which added stability and sort of joy to that city after Katrina. He was right there with Drew Brees and the Saints as a hero in that city for what he did for them, and I thought he should have earned the MVP while he was there. But on the flip side of Chris Paul, you also got to think about all of the what-ifs of his career. There are so many of them, and some of them are really anomalous and sort of random. What if his trade to join Kobe Bryant wasn't vetoed? What if he didn't get hurt in the first round in 2016 with the Clippers? What if they didn't blow a 3-1 lead in 2015? What if he doesn't get hurt against the Warriors when he's with the Rockets and they're up 3-2? There are just so many ways that his career could have gone, and even in spite of that, he is still one of the great players that we have ever seen in NBA history.
That's a great point. A lot of people would say that it's a shame that Chris Paul never won an NBA championship. Speaking of the NBA, let's turn our attention there now. It's Valentine's Day, David, so let's play a game called Love Me or Love Me Not. I'll give you a statement about the second half of the season, and you tell us if you love it or not. First statement is the Lakers will make a second half surge. Love it or not?
Lakers, it's not you, it's me. I gotta block you, gotta leave you on red. We can't do this no more. As a love me not, absolutely for this Lakers team. They kind of played above themselves in the first half, believe it or not, because they won so many of these clutch games. They really were kind of a 500 team. If you look at all the metrics and analytics that they had, I know they had a bunch of injuries, but there's no reason to believe that this team is suddenly going to be all the way healthy in the second half of the season, given LeBron's age, given some of the health history with Luka and things like that. They've been getting blown out basically in all of their losses. They cannot beat a lot of the better teams and the above 500 teams. I think that this Lakers is going to continue to be a middle of the pack team fighting to stay out of the play-in for the rest of the season.
All right, that's an emphatic swipe left from David Dennis Jr. Let's see about this statement. James Harden and the Cavs will have the best second half. Love it or not?
Oh, I love it. Give the Cavs the edible arrangements. Give them the chocolates. Let's go on some dates. All these things with this Cleveland Cavaliers squad. I do think they're going to improve simply for the fact that they improved in one of the most important roster spots. One of the problems that the Cavs had was that Darius Garland was just struggling with his health. Now you have a guy in James Harden who is just better right now. And him and Darius and Donovan Mitchell are playing well together. Donovan Mitchell in the 3 games. No, it's a small sample size. He's at 32 points. James Harden's at 19, and guys like Jarrett Allen are playing much better with somebody like James Harden to feed the ball. Jarrett Allen's at 24 and 11 on 80% shooting in those 3 games, and Evan Mobley is going to also improve. Now, who knows what's going to happen come playoff time to Game 6 or Game 7 where James Harden's going to show up, but in the regular season, we're going to see a Cavs team that looked a lot like the Cavs of last year, who are at the top of the East for the rest of this season.
So loving the Cavs. I'm going to show some love. I'm going to put over David Dennis Jr.'s backdrop. I love what's going on back there, my man.
Let's talk about a guy who was 12 times an All-Star in his career, Chris Paul. He announced his retirement yesterday, sort of an unceremonious end earlier this season with the Clippers. When you're telling your kids as they get older about CP3, how are you going to approach that conversation with how he'll be remembered?
one of the great point guards of all time, a relentless winner, even if it's a nuisance to other players. Like, I remember him also as the guy who would tell the refs when an opponent does not have his shirt tucked in so he can get a technical foul free throw. Like, that's the kind of guy he is. But when you talk about Chris Paul, everywhere he went, he raised the ceiling for that team to a championship level, or if they weren't expected to be a championship, to a legit playoffs. But you also have to talk about Chris Paul and the what ifs, the things that could have happened. What if he got traded to the Lakers to play with Kobe? What if he doesn't have an injury in round one with the Clippers in 2016 or blow a 3-1 lead against Houston in 2015? What if they don't get injured against the Warriors? There's so many what ifs in his career, and even in spite of that, he is one of the greatest point guards we have ever seen.
His first player to get 20,000 points while also having 10,000 assists. That is David Dennis Jr., who we hear that we're going to get to hang out with up here in Bristol here next week. We'll see.
And if not,
remains to be seen.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them down, try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. The city, yeah, I'm a